Even Anjem Choudary called himself the most hated man in Britain. This week, the radical Muslim cleric was sentenced to 5.5 years in prison on charges of inviting support for ISIS. Scott Thuman reports from London on how the most hated man became the most wanted as Britain tries to stop a generation from being recruited as terrorists.
If you're a Muslim in Britain today, you're guilty until proven otherwise.
Few men have been more radical and more influential over the years than Anjem Choudary, a savvy London attorney turned unofficial mouthpiece and recruiter for ISIS.
If you have to follow your laws or die.
Of course, that would be the law of the land. That would be the law of the land. I mean, in America, you want people to abide by the law in America. So under the Sharia, you will abide by Sharia law.
All right. Anjem Choudary, I still think you're an evil SOB.
To burn the American flag!
For roughly 2 decades, his charisma and reach knew few boundaries, a charm with deadly consequences. Choudary had at the very least indirect, if not strong, links to those responsible for the 7/7 bombings in London that killed 52 people. The main executor in ISIS videos, Siddhartha Dar, shoe bomber Richard Reed, a plot to blow up the London Stock Exchange, and planning for Mumbai-style attacks elsewhere. It was also his inspiration to lone wolf attacks that frightened so many.
Perhaps nothing shocked the British more or put Anjem Choudary more on the map than what happened right here 3 years ago on a day just like today, when followers of his ran down and then hacked to death an off-duty soldier named Lee Rigby.
You people will never be safe. Remove your governments. They don't...
So how much safer is the world with Anjem Choudary behind bars?
I mean, sadly, at this point, his message is out there, and it's gone beyond him in many ways. So his removal isn't going to necessarily change that picture.
As head of international security studies for the Royal United Services Institute, Raffaello Pantucci has crossed Chowdary's path many times.
I think this is often an overlooked fact of within every terrorist network, there is always a very charismatic leader at its core, and this individual has the kind of natural personality and charisma to drive this community forwards and this message forwards.
Not just in the UK, but around the globe, an undetermined number of young men and women hung on Chowdary's every word, and many doing much more than just listening. That is Choudary personally converting Richard Dart to Islam. The then 26-year-old former BBC security guard grew up in the country alongside Rob Leach, his stepbrother, who decided to document the religious change in My Brother the Islamist, a film ominously followed by My Brother the Terrorist.
The moment I became concerned when we saw him alongside Anjem Choudary in a national newspaper, that was the moment when alarm bells really started ringing.
Leach was truly alarmed when taping a stroll together through London's streets.
And saying, look at all this filthy kuffar, the kuffars of disbelievers. Look at all these filthy kuffar. When the Sharia comes in, you know, all of this will be gone.
We will conquer Rome!
It was only after Choudary went well beyond his rhetoric-filled road shows and scolding of so-called sinners on the streets that he crossed a legal boundary. Police finally arrested him for inciting support for and being a member of ISIS after his lectures were posted online.
The rhetoric that he can...
Omar El Hamdoun is one of many religious leaders in London relieved Choudary is off the streets.
The Muslim community and certainly the Muslim Council of Britain has said for a long time that, you know, someone like this has already been banned from mosques. He's not been allowed to, you know, the Muslim community hasn't really given him a voice. The voice has been provided by the media.
So you would say one of the biggest benefits of having him behind bars is he'll no longer be able to just pop in front of the TV cameras.
Exactly, exactly. That's going to be a very good benefit to that.
Yet he and others are hesitant to call this conviction a resolution. And in way too many occasions, the damage has already been done.
You know, my stepbrother's already in prison. Countless others are in the same situation, or they're dead, either fighting with ISIS or with the Taliban or Al-Qaeda.
The judge in sentencing declared Choudary is still a danger, even in jail, stating he had no doubt he'd continue to spread his message. Still ahead on Full Measure, the war on terror is the longest war in American history. How can we win? We'll talk with a former Obama administration top general who says he has a plan and was fired for being honest about it.